Hi and welcome to 3PDK webinar. I am just going to read a little text just to tell you a little bit more about our 3P organization.
David, you don't have to repeat this part of it. Just after we start, you can repeat to them.
Good. I just want to say a few words about the organization 3PDK. This webinar is hosted by 3PDK, which is a non-profit organization based in Denmark. Our purpose is to spread the understanding of the three principles. This understanding is a spiritual understanding and spreading all over the world. The understanding of the three principles has helped people overcome stress, anxiety, addiction, depression, and help people find their way back to clarity, inner calm, and mental health again and again. You can learn more about 3PDK on our website, 3p.dk, and in our Facebook group, 3PDK, The Three Principles Denmark. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel, 3PDK. And today, we are welcoming our friends from 3P in Africa. Welcome. We are very happy to have you here, and it's so great that you want to tell us about the three principles and your work in the corner of your world. And now I am going to let the word go to Harry and David, and then we will see where the spiritual life is taking us.
Thanks for having us. It's a bit of a treat. I've been to Denmark 8 times and lived there actually in Gentofte and Limbu. And so the Danish Scandinavian feeling has had a direct influence on my evolvement. But nothing was more important in my evolvement than being one of the original students of Sydney Banks. He had a dream. His dream was very simple. He was a simple man, uneducated, and the first audience were primarily people who, none of which had taken a psychology course, none of which really fit into the norms of society. And we were looking for a spiritual answer, the word you. And the spiritual answer came in Sid's new enlightenment. And we started to explore what it meant. I haven't stopped exploring what it means. And in that exploration, Sid had a dream to alleviate human suffering. And that dream really meant something to me because I saw that he had the ultimate answer to alleviate human suffering. There were a lot of interesting ideas out there and a lot of interesting people sharing, but I heard Sid knows the answer. And as that answer went, what do the three principles mean? What came to me was what Sid was pointing towards. They are within every person, and you are looking for your direct connection to God, mind, or spirit. When you are walking from your own connection to God, you're not listening to other people. You don't care. You don't. You're following what works rather than what man is saying. And within that context, I looked for, in my way and in my writings of now writing my 9th book, what is the connection between original thought and my thought? And that became the puzzle that I had to solve. And I wasn't interested in the psychological side of the principles. That seemed to be what the world was interested in, and obviously was, but I wasn't. It was immaterial to me. I didn't really like the material world that much. I liked the unknown, the mystical side of life. And within that, I followed my destiny, not the destiny written by other people of what I should do, but who am I? And what do I bring to the picture? And within that, it took me in a direction that no other 3P person has ventured, not even close, to be honest. And within that, following the spiritual connection within myself, I ended up in Africa, perfectly trained in all the ups and downs of life. Every one, the up, the down, major teachers, cleaning me out, helping me to understand what Sid's dream was, what it takes to alleviate human suffering. And then I walked into Africa, just a fluke, just working on the computer. And Gisha contacts me. 15 minutes later, he invites me into Africa. I have no idea. I've never been there, never taken a psychology course, never. But he started sharing, Harry knows something that's going to help our community. And we're talking about refugee camp, 150,000 people. Kakuma, 500,000 people. No, hardly any food, coming from war-torn zones, tremendous trauma in their lives, poverty, incredible something an ordinary human being who has a caring heart has to face. So it's very different than what you are facing in Denmark. And without any money and without any marketing, we have spread to 6 countries. Spirit does it. And here's the secret. Get out of the way. Don't think. Harry is the leader and founder of 3P in Africa. Harry is just a pawn in the picture of it evolving. All I'm doing is I have personal opinions, and many times they prove to be worthless, having no emphasis at all in the direction that 3P in Africa needs to go. And so by getting out of the way and giving people like Shelly autonomy, she grew. Christina grew. The reason they grew is because their heart was touched by the spirit of the African people. These are people who are leaders for Denmark to see. They are not behind you. Their spirit has risen. Now, Harry was different in the sense he didn't like to work with rich people. He liked to work with poor people. Of course, that meant that when it came to money, there was less. So Harry is tough with the way it is spent, because every dollar saved is a dollar I can use somewhere else. But we have had great miracles, great expressions. And my message to you is it can happen to you too. Don't listen to other people. Listen to the spirit within. Listen to where Sid took us, not where 3PGC is taking us. 3PGC is a beautiful organization. It's very wonderful. But Sid was the original student of the 3 principles. And Sid, teaching is still teaching me. I've been lucky. He's my only teacher. Very lucky. And I, with all humility, to tell you, I was his worst student, toughest student, with a big ego. But the spiritual power drove me to find peace inside myself, find direction within myself. And we have done it to be honest, by the miracle of spirit. That's how we have succeeded. So I'm going to introduce now the real reason you are here, which is to hear the Africans and what they bring to the picture. The first two speakers are from the Sudan Village. So Nakivale has 78 villages. Poor, poorer than you can imagine. Harder to deal with than you can imagine in your sort of easy country of Denmark, which we know has its own problems, but is a beautiful country. I love Denmark, absolutely. And I love the model of Denmark type of thing. So David and Eugene live in the Sudan Village in Nakivale Refugee Camp. And we're going to let them talk and share their stories, their feelings. And you'll see 4 unique, different persons. That's the teaching, with their own expressions of what they have experienced in different areas. And we have done maybe 50 projects now in 3 years. It will be 3 years since I started in Africa at Christmas. And we're also going to just mention a fundraiser at a bishop's church in December to try and feed 10,000 people. Food. Imagine having Christmas, no food. And we're trying to feed. We'll see what happens. Doesn't matter, to be honest. We'll do our best and we'll see what happens. Okay, David, can you ask Eugene? Eugene only speaks Swahili, and I've asked her to speak because I feel she captures the feeling of what it is to be in a refugee camp and what it felt before and after 3P came in. Go ahead, David, and ask Eugene to start, and then David, after she is finished, will roll into his talk. Okay, David, you can unmute yourself. Well, you haven't done it yet. Yeah. Hi, Eugene. Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you too.
Yeah, and also nice to see Stuart and Florida. Nice to thank. I'm glad you guys. By the way, they from Kabazana, which is another village, they had to motorcycle in, and they've motorcycled into to David's place. Go ahead and take your time. You tell her to take her time and relax, and whatever she says is good.
Sema chochote kenye unataka ujisikie huru, usikie tu mzuri na uongee kenye unataka kuongea.
Mimi jina langu ni Eugenie.
I'm called Eugene.
Niko mkimbizi kutoka Congo.
I'm a refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Huko Congo nimepitia matatizo mengi.
I lived in Congo for a long time. Then after that, I got some challenges.
Mbele kwanza nilikuwa naishi maisha mazuri.
Before I used to live a normal life.
Nikasoma.
I was going to school.
Nikakuwa na wazazi wangu wote wawili, mama na baba.
I was living together with my both parents, my father and my mom.
Wakati nilifika kwanza mamangu alifariki.
Then after that my mother died.
Wakati alikufa babangu pale akapata mshtuko wa moyo, akagonja tansio juu ya mawazo.
So after the death of my mother, my father became very sick. He was sick from pressure.
Naye akakuja kufa vile vile.
And also he died after some years.
Nikabakia yatima na machungu mingi, hata kakaangu nakakufa vile.
I lived as an orphan, and we are living together with my brother. My brother also died.
Nikasikia machungu sana kama vile mtu anataka changanyikiwa.
Living that life without father, mother, and my brother, I was facing a very difficult moment in my life.
na ilipofikia muvita mnona sisi ya ubaguzi wa makabila,
Then after that, we had a war in the DRC.
tukakimbia vita mule mnjia, wakikuona tuko nalikuwa mrefu ni shida kwako.
Then we ran, and people could discriminate us when they look at your appearance. They say you are not a Congolese.
Manake tukakimbia vita vile, wengine walikufa kupitia tu vile na hawana Wanyarwanda, lakini Wakongomani wakawaua vile.
We fled into different places, and there were a lot of killings. Rebels could meet us on the way, and they killed some of the people we are fleeing together with them.
Huko naona jinsi mtu anakufa vile, watu wanakufa.
I used to see how they were killing people. They will kill someone who fell down.
Nikasikia uchungu sana ndani ya roho yangu, matumaini katoka, amani katoka, furaha katoka, upendo katoka.
By seeing all those things, I became hopeless because I had a lot of pains in me to see all what was going on.
Upendo katoka ndani mwangu na furaha.
I was unhappy in that moment.
Msamaha nikaona hawa watu siwezi wasamea hawa watu.
And inside me, I could think that I can't forgive anybody who did wrong to me.
Kwa sababu wanaua watu wenye hawana hatia.
Because they used to kill innocent people.
Nikasikia maumivu sana ndani ya roho yangu.
So I was living a life of pain in me.
Lakini tukakimbia tena huko Uganda.
So we fled up to Uganda.
Kafika hapa Uganda.
Please charge.
So when I came to Uganda, I was not in a good situation.
Ikakuwa challenge, mtu akienda kumaji, kupata maji shida.
I was facing many challenges because even here people could discriminate me. I couldn't go even to the tap to fetch water because of that.
Nikasikia hasira sana.
I had no happiness in that moment.
Lakini tulipoanza fundishwa mafundisho ya kanuni tatu,
after a while, I started attending the 3 principles sharing in the settlement.
ikaniletea matumaini ndani ya roho yangu.
And when I was going to the places where people were sharing about the 3 principles, I started gaining my hope little by little.
Amani ikarudia ndani ya roho yangu.
And the time I could participate in the sharing, I started feeling peace in my heart.
Nikasikia furaha inarudia kwa sababu furaha tunaipata kwa bure.
Then after that, I started gaining my happiness.
Nikasikia manake napata hata matumaini kwa sababu nilikuwa nishatupa matumaini, nilikuwa nasikia tu nikufe tu kwa sababu hivi nakuwa yatima, mwe nikufe tu.
All that moment I was living without hope. I could think maybe I should die and disappear on the earth. But since the time I started participating in the sharing of 3P, I started gaining my hope little by little.
Pamoja na Mungu kupitia mafundisho ya kanuni tatu.
And also by sharing 3 principles, I discovered that everything is about the thought.
Iniletea furaha tena ndani mwangu.
Because I saw that I can change my thought and be happy again.
Kaniletea upendo, nikasikia nisamee wale watu.
Then after that, I started discovering that I have forgiveness is within me, even happiness within me.
Kwa hiyo nishawasamee wale watu wote waliua watu.
Even those people who are killing people, I didn't want to see them, but by now I forgave them.
Na hivi naishi kwa matumaini.
And also I have hope in me.
Na furaha ndani mwangu.
And happiness.
Kwa sababu hii mafundisho ya kanuni tatu imeniletea amani sana.
The sharing of 3 principles has taught me a way how I can find peace in myself.
Kwa sababu nilikuwa nasikia maumivu, hata niende kunywa basi pombe juu nipate amani.
Because in that moment, I could feel very bad. Sometimes I could think maybe if I take alcohol, it can give me happiness.
Lakini yote niliona haitaniletea furaha.
But by the sharing of 3 principles, I've discovered that all those are nothing, but the happiness is within me.
Kwa kweli hii mafundisho ya kanuni 3 ikanipatia matumaini mpaka nikapata nguvu ya kukuwa nafundisha wengine wa mama.
And after that, I became a strong woman. I started also sharing with other women who were hopeless.
Kwa sababu kisi nimepata furaha ndani mwangu.
Since I'm happy now,
hapa mu community kuko watu wengi wanateseka sana.
In our community, there are many people who are suffering
kwa sababu ya matumaini wamepoteza na furaha,
because they are hopeless.
Njoo hivi niko nawafundisha kupitia hii kanuni 3.
I thought that even themselves also they can join in the sharing of 3 principles.
Kwa sababu kwenye mimi nilitoka ni mbali, nilikuwa sikia tu nikufe, sina amani.
Because when I think about what happened to me,
na hivi wale watu niko nawaonesha kama upendo na furaha mtu anaipata kwa bure.
I decided to start sharing with other people and tell them that love and happiness, they are within us and they are free.
Na tunafundishiwa hiyo mafundisho siku ya 5 na Shalia.
And I thank Shalia very much because every Friday she joins us in our women group.
Kwa sababu kuna wajane mwa hiyo kikundi.
Even there are other women who lost their husbands.
Na kuko wengine wenyewe wametupwa na waume zao.
And the others were women who were rejected by their men.
Na kuko wamama wengine wanakunywa pombe, wawili ishapita kiasi.
And also in our group I received women who were addicted.
Sasa wanakuwa naona tumaini, wanafurahia hii mafundisho.
But from now also they have gained their hope through the sharing.
Na wanakuja tuongee pamoja na tukue nao pamoja kupitia sharia.
And also they are participating in the sharing. We are sharing together with Shalia.
Na wengine na waleta hapo kwa mafundisho ya kari.
And even other people, I invite them every Monday when we have a sharing with Harry.
Kwa hiyo nashukuru sana kwa kunirudishia amani hii kanuni 3.
So I'm very thankful through the sharing of 3 principles because now I found the peace within me.
Kwa sababu Mungu alisema tusamee na mafundisho ya kanuni 3 nayo nasema hivi.
Because I see how God said we have to forgive our enemies, and the 3 principles also is teaching about the forgiveness.
Kwa kweli ninafurahi sana kwa sababu hivi nakuwa na matumaini ndani ya maisha yangu.
I'm very happy because I have hope now.
Kwa sababu matumaini yangu yote ilikuwa ishapotea.
I'm not the same as I was before.
Nikakuwa na yeye siwezi nikaishi tena.
I thought maybe I'm useless.
Lakini hivi nina matumaini, kisipowezekana kwa mwanadamu kinawezekana kwa Mungu.
And also I have hope and I've seen my beauty now through the sharing of 3 principles.
Na ndio maana nimeendelea kufundisha wale wa mama.
And that has encouraged me very much also to share with other people.
Na katika maisha yangu yote na decide.
And in all my life,
ndaendelea kufundisha hii mafundisho ya kanuni 3 na nikikuwa na waleta kila siku na wainvite siku ya kwanza.
I will continue to share with other people about the 3 principles, especially the role of thought.
Na hiyo siku ya 5 ya mafundisho ya sharia.
And also I will invite people every Friday to come to the sharing of 3 principles.
Kweli nawashukuru sana Hari na Shalia.
I really thank you, Harry and Shalia,
kwa kutuletea hii mafundisho ya kanuni 3.
For the sharing of 3 principles you have brought us to Africa, especially Nakivale.
Inatusaidia, imenigeuza kwanza mimi kadibadilisha, nilikuwa mbali sana.
It has helped many people including myself.
hivi na watu wengine wenye niko nawafundisha nao, niko naenda nawasaidia wanabadilika kiakili.
Not only me, but it has changed other people in our community.
Kwa hiyo nashukuru, nasema asante, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much. May God bless you.
David, I will just introduce. David is in the same village, and one of the dream projects for me personally, is addiction, especially to alcohol, is very big. And David is the manager of the alcohol department, and we have started with another member of our team, Larry Peterson from the USA, and we are teaching about, to be honest, the best alcohol program in the world. Nothing close. And David, without David's continual input and support, because he's on the ground, this could not happen. And my dream could not be emerging. And within that, we just let it take its own form. My ideas, it just moved around to where we are now. And it's pretty cool. So go ahead, David, share from your own heart about.
Yes. Thank you very much, Harry. I'm called David, and I am the alcohol healing program manager in Nakivale Refugee Settlement. I really thank all who have come to participate in this meeting, because for me, this is it's a very wonderful meeting, because we are going to share so many things, and the impact of alcohol healing program in Nakivale. Nakivale is a settlement of more than 200,000 refugees from different countries, almost 10 countries in Africa. They have fled from their countries up to Nakivale. And most of these people, because of being refugees, they entered Nakivale without hope of life, men and women, and the result of that, they started drinking too much, thinking maybe by taking much alcohol and the drugs can help them to forget their issues, their problems that they have been facing in their home countries. But I really thank you, Harry, Shalia, and the other people who have come to Africa to help these people to recognize their beauty, because most of them, they are people who are hopeless, and they are forgetting themselves. They think maybe they are hopeless and they are useless in the community. But by sharing of 3P, we are seeing the impact, because many people are changing. Now they have understood that the role of thought is very important. Many people, they have understood that everything they do, every situation they feel, is about the thought. Some of them have understood the wrong use of their thought is the source of all the negativities they are facing today. Now we have a big number of people who have recovered now from alcohol because of the sharing of 3P in Nakivale. In our group in Sudan, We have now 5 members who have recovered this year, including Mr. Musenge, who have recovered recently. And now he has spent almost 3 months without drinking alcohol. And he understood that the wrong use of thought, that was a problem that was making him to be addicted by alcohol. We really thank you very much for all the support, especially Harry, Shalia, because you are supporting our group. And even now, if you see we have light, it is because of your support. Yeah, we used to be in this room in the darkness, but now we have a solar, we have a battery. Now we have light now. We can share 3 principles even at night as we are doing now. So all that is because of your support. I think Harry and Shalia, you have not to give up. You have to continue to assist this community that is suffering too much, because we are planning to reach many people, women and men in Nakivale, who are still in captivity of wrong use of thought, and they are living in negativities. So these people need our help, need your help together as one to help this community that is suffering. As now, together with Innocent, we are planning to reach Juru very soon, where we have a very big number of people also who are suffering with alcoholism. Not only Juru, even a Kabazana B also. We are planning to start very soon. If not this December, by January, we are going to have a satellite there where we are going to share with people how they can get out of alcoholism, because it's a very big challenge, and it has affected many people. It has brought many challenges in the families. There are men and women who are now separated because of that problem. So Nakivale people, they need help in order for them to be out of this suffering. So thank you so much, Harris. Thank you so much, Shalia. Thank you so much, Dr. Billy and others, because the work you are doing is it is helping many people to recover and to know their beauty. As now we have 3 people who have come to give their testimony, to say that they thank you, Harry, very much for what you did, because now they are free from the wrong use of thought. Now they can take care of their families. They can they have happiness within them. Before they could think maybe they cannot live without drinking, but they have found that that was the wrong use of thought. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in everything you are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. I want to emphasize, when they are talking about the role of thought, they're not just talking about the psychological role. They're talking about the connection to the spiritual. They are naturally spiritual people because of Christian understanding is very big in Africa and with the people we are teaching. They are also indigenous to the spirit, versus the Danish people who are a little more scientific in their approach to life, and so on. But it is the connection of thought to the spirit and how they are one that is the healing power. We teach that God heals or mind heals. Harry does not heal. And they understand that on an inside perspective, not on the surface type thing. It produces magic, and that is what we are, magic. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Shelia now. And Shelia works obviously out of Germany, and I work out of Canada. And Shelia has played a big role in contributing to the positive momentum of 3P in Africa because her heart was touched. Go ahead, Shelia.
Thank you, Harry. Hello, everyone. Good evening. And I first want to say thank you so much to the Danish community. It is such a privilege to get the space and the time to speak tonight. And it is a special moment when 3P communities from different countries come together in fellowship. It is such a beautiful thing for our African colleagues that they get to see and meet you and share with the world. It's so beautiful. I was at the 3P UK conference and I was able to meet with many of your Danish colleagues. We had so many fun conversations, dinners and lunches and sharing together. And it's just such a beautiful thing. So thank you for having us to be with you today. And thank you to Eugenia and David and Florida and Stuart for being here tonight. To share. It is one of the biggest privileges of my life to call myself your colleague, to be able to share time with you every week. David, I don't know if you want to translate that. I'm going to give you a chance now to translate.
Nimefurahi sana kwa kuwa pamoja na watu wa kutoka huko Danish au Denmark, na vile vile nimefurahi sana kuwa pamoja na nyinyi pia, mnipatia muda wenu kama vile David, Eugene na Stuart na Florida, na ninashukuru sana kwa sababu mmekuwa hapa pamoja kwa ajili ya mazungumzo haya. Thank you.
Yeah. One of the things that I learned early on when working with Harry was that he puts importance on a couple of things, and I'm just going to name two of them now. One is maintaining the purity of the 3 principles. And the second thing is he let me know when I came into the team that our mission is to lift up the African people that we're speaking with and make them our colleagues, really understanding that their level of understanding can rise at any moment higher than our own.
Oh, your sound, Shelia, something kicked in.
Was it on my end? Okay, good.
I think so.
Yeah. So one of the things was rising them up to become colleagues, and that is what I see them as. David, if you want to translate that.
Yeah, na mimi vile nashukuru Hari sana kwa namuna anatumika katika hii kazi, na kuna vitu viwili ambavyo nifurahisha sana. Kitu kia kwanza ni namuna gani iko anaweka mafundisho ya kanuni 3 kwa mafundisho mazuri, na kitu kingine kia pili kinafurahia kwa sababu ana ule moyo wa kuinua watu kupitia mafundisho ili watu wapate kuinuka na kujua mafundisho vizuri.
I'm about to introduce the next two people who are going to be talking, and they were part of our initiative at the beginning of this year, which was the advanced classes. It was speaking with members of the community who'd been showing up regularly to the meetings and who wanted to learn how to share, how to teach, how to educate in the 3 principles in their community.
Na nitakwenda tena vile kuwatambulisha watu wengine wawili ambao wamejifunza sana mafundisho ya kanuni 3 na walikuwa mwa ile class ambayo tulikuwa tunaita advanced class ya kusogelea mbele, na watakwenda kuongea namna gani gisi mafundisho ya kanuni 3 inavyotumika katika sehemu ambao wanapoishi.
And from that group came many people with deep grounding and deeper caring. And 2 of those people were Florida and Stuart.
Na katika kundi langu kumekuya watu wengine wawili ambao ni watu kabisa ambao wanajua kujali watu na vile vile kuwahudumia watu. Nao sio watu wengine, ni Stuart na Florida.
Stuart is someone who shows up regularly to facilitate meetings and to help translate and share.
Stuart ni mtu wa muhimu sana kwa sababu alikuwa anasaidia kila mara wakati tunapokuwa na mitingi, anasaidia kutranslate au kutafasiri ile ambao watu wanavyoongea.
Without his help, this understanding wouldn't spread as far as it goes. Sometimes in Kabazana, they have groups of 75 people and more.
Na bila msaada wake kweli vitu vingi havingefanyika, kwa sababu Kabazana ni watu wengi sana, wanafika hata watu 75.
And Florida has a huge heart for children. She gathers all of the children out of the village to large groups. It's a sight to see. And she shares with them the understanding of the three principles.
Na Florida na moyo mzuri sana wa kutumika na watoto, anakusanyishaka watoto wengi sana katika village yao na anaanza kuwafundisha kuhusu mafundisho ya kanuni 3.
So thank you both for doing that, and we all look forward to hearing you share now, and you can take the stage.
Nawashukuru sana na tutakwenda kuwasikia na nyinyi mtakuja kuzungumuza. Karibuni.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, I'm Aetma Stewart, and I've been leading a group in Kabazana A, which started with these 3P teachings. They came there, they combined us together. Both women and the men were together. We could sit in one place and share the 3 principles. Me, I'm a refugee from Rwanda, but I was born in Uganda. And born in Uganda, my parents are the one who ran from Rwanda to Uganda, but good enough, me, I was born here. So, but these 3P teachings have helped me so much. When we started getting them, even I could go back home and help my parents, because the years they have spent here in Uganda, they have spent a lot of years, but they are still thinking of what happened in their home countries when they are running from there. First of all, these 3P teachings, they have helped us so much. Before, even me, myself, even my parents, they couldn't understand what love is. They could hear it like love. By the way, generally in Africa, love, we think with that one of a husband and a wife. But these 3 teachings, they have make us to know more about love. We have known about love, knowing that love starts with ourselves. If you don't love yourself, then you don't know love. That was one of the things that helped us here. So I could, after the group now, I could go back home, sit with my parents. I make them to know what love is because for them, they didn't know it. Another thing about love, these 3P teachings have made us to know that love is just there, just God gave it to us. Yes, we knew that before. We could think that maybe we didn't know about love, and we could just think of maybe it is just there. But we have, through 3P teachings, we have understood that love is natural and gifted from God. Another thing, the 3P teachings that have taught us hope. People here were hopeless, as my colleagues have said, very hopeless. The life in camp here, it is not easy. Someone has been was in his or her country for his or her life, but in a minute, in a day, in a hour, is running from the country to another with no relative, nothing he or she is having, but running to another country. Good enough, Uganda is there and it is peaceful. You have managed to reach there and they welcome us. But we didn't have hope could reach here again. You find you are thinking of what happened in 2 years back. Negativity. There we came to know now these 3P teachings. They could bring us back to live in now, not in the past. To have hope, knowing that tomorrow it will be better. So we have these 3P teachings. They have helped everything here, and the people we are changing even here. Now you can see us and you may think that we are not refugees. Another thing on 3P, forgiveness. People here, everyone who is in the camp, there is someone who annoyed him or who annoyed her, or there is something bad that happened. But we couldn't believe that maybe you can forgive. Here we go, everywhere in the camp, there are churches. People will just go and pray, but from the church again, going back to our communities, going back our home, you find you have just left that thing of church at church. Now, but when now we came in with 3 principles, they have helped so much because we have understood what forgiveness is. First of all, we have understood also that forgiveness starts with us. If we don't forgive ourselves first, then we are doing nothing. You cannot say that you are forgiving someone, then for you have not forgiven yourself. So these 3P teachings, they have helped us so much. Again, on 3P teachings, we have got this thing of living in now. Living in now, it has helped us because for us here in camp, people, very many people, even they are running mad every time because of overthinking, and not even overthinking of this thing of the future. They are overthinking of the past that is making them now to run mad. There are very many here, but at least now because of these 3P teachings, when we come in a group, a good example in Kabazana, we have been sitting like over 75 people, sitting there, sharing, at least someone to go back home is somehow refreshed. So we have, that this living in now is a good point to us and to other refugees around here. And again, thought. The thing of thought here in camp, generally, we are facing a lot of challenges. And to those ones who have not tested on 3P teachings, they are the ones who still have challenges. Because for us who have tested on the 3P teachings, we are okay now. This thing of overthinking. I remember one of our coaches, Shari and Harry, they could tell us, now, if you don't sleep the whole night, tomorrow what will happen? Nothing. You need to cool your mind. You need to settle your mind so that at least in the morning you get good ideas of going and doing work than remaining thinking of the past, which cannot help. By the way, I have come with an example about thought. In Africa, for us, when you go to the restaurant or a hotel, you find a lot of things on the table. Some of us, we have been in villages, we don't know what they mean, but when we get a chance that someone maybe has called you for a supper, for a dinner, you just go there. But on the table, you find a lot. In Africa, you find there is coffee, there is jinga, a lot of everything. And they just bring for you a flask with chai, milk, pure milk, very white. And you find now you are the one to put on your spices, any spice you want. Now, in Africa, sometimes they take you to the hotel, they take you to the restaurant. Anyway, you find someone is putting on a lot of spices, even those ones which are not supposed to be in milk, is just putting them. So I am terming it as a mind, our mind, our thoughts. It is good that God gave us a pure mind. I term it as white milk, the one they give us in the restaurant or hotel. But because for us, we keep on adding a lot of spices, even the spices which are not supposed to be in. And now they make us now, sometimes we fail to take that milk because it is already destroyed. So I term that thing as our thought. It is good that God gave us a pure knowledge and pure thought. But again, we are the one now who are making it to putting in a lot of thinking of the past, which it does not help. And you find now the mind is full. Nothing. You find now you meet someone is just walking on the way and is just talking to himself or herself. So we have seen that one thought. These three principles, they have changed our thought, and we are now coming. Even now in Kabazana, we have a lot of people who are enjoying these sessions of 3P. We started, they could hear, we are just sharing. But now, because they have seen that we have changed, it's not that we have money, but we are just changing the mind. The mind is now pure. We know how to handle things. We knew that we are the solution of ourselves. No one will change me. I'm the one to change myself according to the way I think. So we have seen that one, and the thought has changed, and these 3P teachings have really changed us. We really thank you, our coaches, Sharia and Harry, for everything. Then I mean, even love of God, the divine mind there, we have seen that in everything we are doing, in everything that we try to do, God is the answer. The divine mind is always the answer, because anything for us, may I just hear the stories of my parents and whatnot, they always tell us how they managed to move from their home countries to Uganda. It was not easy, but because God is there, because they had that divine mind in them, they were believing that they can even reach New Uganda. They have reached New Uganda, they have settled for many years even now. So we really thank 3P teachings, because they are changing us positively. And even now, in our communities, we are helping other people, because there are very many people we meet, you find they are hopeless, but at least we tell them to regain hope, because tomorrow is better than yesterday. So I want to thank you very much, and that's what I had for today. Thank you very much. I have my colleague, Florida, we are from the same group, where we were in one of the groups. Then again, we joined advanced class, and now we are sharing to the community. We have different groups we are sharing to. Thank you very much. Let me welcome her. She also share her story. And again, she's speaking Kirundi or Kinyarwanda. I will be translating into English. Thank you. Anaiza hands. Yes, is greeting you.
Amazina Florida Nizigimana.
She's called Florida Nizigimana.
Cyane ndashima cyane kuba tugiye kuganira.
She's happy that we are going to share.
Icyambere mu gihugu cy'i Burundi
So she's going to talk about the life she was living in Burundi.
ndi umuntu nahuye n'ibigeragezo bikomeye.
She said she met a lot.
Nakuze ndi umwana umwe mu bana 7.
She grew up when she was 1 in 7 children.
Nta data na mama nahoranye nabo, bose bahuye n'ibigeragezo.
So for her, she didn't see her mother or her father.
Niyo mpamvu icyambere ntanguza Imana, kubera Imana niyo ituma umuntu abaho.
So she really thank God for her to be still alive even now.
Igihe cyarageze nza mu gihugu cya Uganda.
So after a lot of challenges that she faced in Burundi, she ran to Uganda.
Ndashima Imana cyane yangiranye mu gihugu cya Uganda.
She reached in Uganda. She thanked God for that because she didn't know that even she can reach.
Nkiri mu gihugu nari umuntu nkunda kuba jenyine, natinya abantu.
Before, when she was still in Burundi, she used to be herself. She didn't have that thing of being with others.
Kubera ibigeragezo nahuye nabyo.
Because of challenges she faced.
Ariko bisahizi maze kuba muri groupe.
But now, because she joined the group,
nageze ahangaha teacher Philip na Stuart.
So she reached here, and Phillips and me, we used to teach her in a group.
Sanga bafite amasomo meza cyane yo guhumuriza abantu.
They found we were sharing good teachings, the 3P teachings.
Natekereje kuba no kumva noja muri groupe.
So she thought of joining the group.
Maze kuja muri groupe, amasomo amaje kumfasha.
When she joined the group, when the teachings have started helping her,
numva ndayakunze cyane.
She loved them. She loved the teachings.
Icyambere mu bintu bibaho ntanguza Imana.
She loved how the love of God.
Amasomo banyigishije urukundo.
And they even shared to her love,
kubabarira,
forgiveness,
gutekereza neza,
to think properly, good thoughts,
guhitamwo,
forgiveness,
kuganira,
sharing with others,
kwikunda,
loving herself.
Ayo masomo yaranyubatse cyane.
Those teachings, they have helped her so much.
Nari mfise pressure.
She was having pressure. She was suffering from pressure.
Pressure yaramaze gukendera kuko ngire muri amasomo.
But now the pressure has decreased because of these teachings.
Amasomo amaze kunyubaka naciye ntangura.
These teachings, they have helped her.
Gusomesha abana.
She has started now teaching children.
N'abakuru.
Even the old.
N'abamama bakuze.
Even is concentrating on women in Kabazana.
Urukundo nasomye ubisahizi.
For the love she got from the sleepy teachings.
Umuvyeyi agiye kwa muganga kuvyara ni jewe baza gutabaza nkamutwara.
Even now they are calling her in case of a lady has got a problem. They always call her to go and help.
Umuvyeyi avyariye mu rugo cyangwa mu nzira atarashika ku igwariro ni jewe nkora service.
Even now is helping those ladies in the community where they get challenges, those ones who are pregnant, to help them, to take them to the hospital.
Amasomo cyane yaranyubatse nabwo Stuart na Filipo Imana ibaha umugisha.
Is thanking the teachers, the Harry, the Phillips, the Sharia, everyone who came in to bring these 3P teachings in Africa.
Ariko na nubu ndacyafite ikibazo.
That is still having some challenges.
Navuye mu gihugu cy'i Burundi ndi kumwe n'umugabo.
She came from Burundi when she was having a husband.
Umugabo amaze kugera ahangaha abona imbere mucanze kubera umukokero bayidukuyeho.
When they reached here with her husband, now the husband saw the situation was not okay. She ran away.
umugabo yarantaye undi kumwe n'abana mu nzu cenka sinzise n'inzu mbega.
So even now she's living as a single mom with how many children?
Batatu.
With 3 children.
Abana school fees ni kibazo.
So even getting school fees is a challenge.
Abana ntabwo mfite ubushobozi.
But is trying as a lady because these 3P teachings have helped her.
Nkaba nasaba ngo ubuyambi.
So he's still asking that maybe these 3P teachings will continue helping her so that she can manage the family.
Ariko ndashima cyane kuba Imana yemeye ko tugira ibiganiro.
But he's so thankful for these teachings and for this time.
Ni Imana yandinze nami kabarinda.
She's thanking God for making us to be at this time to share together.
Hasigaye Imana ibahe umugisha.
And she's ending from there saying, may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Shelia.
Wow. I'm really blown away by your sharing. What amazing sharing you have given us tonight as a gift.
Thank you.
Maongezi yenu ilikuwa maongezi mazuri sana na imekuwa kama zawadi kwetu jioni ya leo.
I am sure that the Danish people can hear that these are some of the best teachers of 3 principles in the whole world.
Naamini ya kwamba hawa watu wa Denmark wanaona ya kwamba nyinyi ni walimu wazuri sana katika dunia hii.
It's amazing. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. It has been a tremendous experience. Thank you. Thank you. I'm humble and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I could just cry. I feel my heart is so full of love for all of you. And Harry wanted me to talk just a little bit about some of the work we're doing in other countries and also in the women's group, and I'll keep it short.
Sikia machozi mengi na moyo wangu umejaa na furaha sana, lakini acha nimwache Harry na yeye azungumze kidogo kwa mafundisho haya, namna gani nalivyofundishwa katika nchi zingine.
Harry talked at the beginning about the fuel that 3P in Africa runs from, which is the spirit.
Na Harry amezungumzia namna gani mafundisho ya kanuni 3 huko Afrika na jinsi imeendelea zaidi.
And the spirit was moving within me to work more with the women's groups.
Vile vile anahitaji sana kutumika na hii makundi.
And Harry made it possible for me to connect with a group of women in Tanzania.
Na Harry alifanya nguvu yake yote kuninganisha na kundi ya wamama huko Tanzania.
And we started sharing on Mondays with single mothers and with widows and people in villages who were living in vulnerable circumstances.
Na tulianza kuzungumza na wamama na hasa wamama wajane katika village mbalimbali.
We share together so many things. For example, the power of a quiet mind.
Tumeongea nao vitu vingi sana kama vile nguvu ya kuwa na mawazo matulivu.
Our deep personal connection to the spirit, to mind, to God.
Na vile vile tuliongea mambo mingi kuhusu namna gani nafsi zetu zinaweza kuwa na uhusiano mzuri na Mungu.
We share about the role of thought and choosing to let our negative thinking go.
Tuliongea sana juu ya nguvu ya mawazo na tukaongea kuhusu namna gani tunaweza ondokana na mawazo mapotofu au mabaya.
But as women, we also talk about husbands.
Na wale mama nao walianza kuzungumza kuhusu waume zao.
We speak about empowering ourselves, learning to follow our wisdom and say no when we feel no in our heart.
Namna gani ya kujijenga wenyewe, kusikia sauti ya mafikira yetu au dhamiri zetu.
And then the Spirit led us further. And I got a message not too very long ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, from David saying, Eugenia wants you to also speak with her women's group.
Na baada ya hapo David akanambia aseme Eugene naye anataka ukuna zungumuza na kundi ya wamama.
And so we started meeting on Fridays with the women, and some also men who show up, because in Africa you can't limit anything. People want to come.
Na tukaanza kuzungumuza na wamama, lakini hatuwezi kubagua wanaume, wote tunawakaribisha vile vile.
And in these meetings we experience our love and our connection and our unity.
Na katika hii mitingi tulijifunza sana juu ya upendo na umoja vile vile.
We notice every time we share together that no matter if you live in Germany or Denmark or Africa, we are all experiencing the universality of the three principles.
Na wakati tunazungumuza, haijalishi unaishi wapi, Denmark, Afrika, wapi, lakini tunazungumuzia sisi wote juu ya kitu kimoja.
On the outside, it appears as if we are dealing with different circumstances.
Sababu huku nje tunakutana na circumstances au matatizo mengi.
But in the inside, we are connected deeply to the all oneness of life.
Lakini ndani yetu tunakuwa kama tumeungana pamoja katika hali ya kimaisha.
So I'm so grateful for these opportunities to share and teach. I probably learn more than you do, even if it may look the opposite way.
Kwa hiyo niko nafurahia sana wakati tunapokutana, kufundishana, na mimi niko najifunza vitu vya mingi sana.
I want to thank you for being my brothers and my sisters, and thank Harry for giving me the opportunity to just flow with the Spirit whenever it's moving.
Nawashukuru sana kwa kuwa dada zangu na kaka zangu, na nashukuru jinsi Ari amenifungulia njia ya kuongea na watu wengi.
And for the Danish people, if you want to learn a little bit of Swahili, we always say asante, which means thank you.
Kwa nyie watu wa Denmark, kama unapenda mjifunze Kiswahili, ni nasema asante.
Yeah.
Asante.
Yeah. I don't know where we are with time, and if that's good enough for Harry, if you wanted to continue sharing about Homa Bay or leave that for another time. I'm not sure what the time plan is.
Just give them a small sample, just without just a touch, just so they can see how this spiritual momentum of 3P in Africa has spread.
Yeah.
Please do. We have about 15 minutes left.
Okay.
And, so share what's in your heart.
Okay.
Tunapigana 15 minutes, mnaweza zungumza vile mnataka.
So, as Harry mentioned to the beginning, we are working across 6 countries in East Africa.
Kama gisi Ari alisema, tunatumika mu inchi nyingi sana za hapa Afrika, kama inchi 6.
Tonight, you've gotten a window into Uganda because all of the people that are speaking tonight are there.
Na leo tumezungumza sana na watu wa Uganda kwa sababu wote watu tuko nao ni wa Uganda.
We also work in Kenya, for example, in Homa Bay.
Tunatumika tena kule Kenya, Homa Bay.
In Homa Bay, there is a beautiful orphanage.
Huko Homa Bay kuko orfelina ya mzuri sana, nafasi ya mayatima.
When we started working with the people there were 25 children between the ages of 10 and 17.
Na wakati tulianza kutumika kulikuwa tu watoto 28 walikuwa kwa miaka ya 10 mpaka 17.
The orphanage is run by Bishop Alawach, who's a bishop in a church, and his granddaughter Martha.
Na hiyo fasi ya kuhifadhi watoto mayatima inaongozwa na huyo Bishop Aloa, na ni bishop wa mkanisa na ni babu yake ya Martha.
At the time, they were at a very low point, at least on the material level, of what was possible in the orphanage.
Wakati tuliwakuta walikuwa na hali mbaya sana, hawakuwa na uwezo wowote kabisa ambao wanaweza shughulikia hiyo sehemu ya mayatima.
They were living in a sad and desperate feeling and losing hope.
Walikuwa naishi maisha ya huzuni ambayo ilikuwa inakosa matumaini kwao.
When I first came into the project, I realized Harry was meeting every Thursday with grandfather, that's what we call Bishop Alawach, and with Martha. And he was spending an hour every single week in personal mentoring with those two people.
Wakati nilijiunga, nilikutana Hari, alikuwa kila mara siku ya 4 anaongea na Martha pamoja na Bishop, kila mara wakikuwa naongea juu ya mafundisho.
Such a generous use of his time and a gift of love that was changing the inside feeling of grandfather and Martha, lifting them up into a feeling of happiness and hope because they had discovered it inside.
Na maongezi yao mingi ilikuwa inahusu juu ya kubadilisha mawazo, kupata furaha na matumaini.
They had already started then sharing with the children, teaching them about the love of God and the role of thought.
Na vile vile wakaanza kuongea na watoto kuhusu upendo wa Mungu na vile vile kazi ya mawazo.
And this in and of itself was already so transformative and so important in their lives.
Na hiyo kabisa ilileta mabadiliko na vile vile ilibadilisha maisha yao.
The thing was also, though, that they were starving. They had no food for many, many days.
Na kitu kingine walikuwa wanateseka, walikuwa wakikosa chakula kwa muda wa siku mingi.
The children were sometimes lying in the corner of the rooms because they hadn't eaten and they didn't have the energy to go to school.
Na kuna wakati mwingine watoto walikuwa wanalala hapo kwa sababu hakuna chakula na walikuwa wanakosa hata kwenda shuleni.
Some of the children had HIV and they weren't getting any medical care, and it was making their condition more difficult.
Na wengine watoto hao walikuwa wameathirika na ugonjwa wa sida na hawakuwa wanapata hata dawa.
Martha, who's not here tonight, but maybe you will meet at another time, she started sharing globally, just like these wonderful people are doing in Germany.
Na sasa Martha alianza sasa kuongea na watu wengine duniani kama gisi ya watu wengine wamefanya hapa, lakini alikuwa anaongea na watu wa Alemania.
She shared deeply from her grounding and from her heart with a group of German people in a conference that she had been invited to.
Na aliongea na watu huku Ujerumani, akaongea maneno kutoka ndani ya moyo wake kwa hiyo conference ambayo ilikuwa kwa Alemania.
There was a man in that room, his name was Jochen Lösch, and he was touched very deeply in his heart by Martha's feeling.
Na kulikuwa mwanaume katika mkutano huu jina kama ni Wash, aliguswa sana na mambo ambayo Martha aliongea.
God was giving the orphanage blessings because in that moment, Jochen decided to step in and start supporting the orphanage financially.
Na Mungu akasaidia ile orphanage ikapata msaada na ule mtu akaamua kwamba ataanza kuwasaidia.
In 3P in Africa, we can't always help people physically as well as spiritually, but sometimes a miracle happens and it is made possible.
Na huko Afrika mafundisho ya kanuni tatu tunawasaidia watu sana kiroho na vile kimwili, na hiyo kuna miujiza fulani ambayo inatokea katika vitu ambavyo tunafanya huko.
It is hard to explain the amazing miracle that has happened in the last year in Homa Bay, but I'll give you a little bit of insight.
Kweli ni vitu vingi sana ambavyo naweza zungumuza ambavyo vinatokea huko Homa Bay, lakini lazima niongee vidogo tu.
Through the love and support of this sponsor, the children are eating regular meals and getting regular medical care and going to school every day.
Kwa sasa wale watoto wanapata chakula kila siku, wanapata madawa na wanaenda shuleni kila siku.
Leaking roofs have been repairs, kitchens are being built, all kinds of physical manifestations of the Spirit.
Wanalipiwa ada za shule, wanawachengea manyumba na kila msaada wote kwa wanaupata.
The sponsor's heart, who is giving the money, is growing and growing every day in more and more love.
Na huyu mtu ambaye anawasaidia anaendelea kuwa na moyo wa upendo kila siku upendo wake kunaenda kuwa mkubwa kwa wao.
We have educational programs set up for the children in all different ways to enrich them with activities.
Unakuwa programu nyingine ya masomo ambayo inafundisha watoto wote katika nyanja zote.
And I have to say today, and I'm sorry if I get emotional, but it really touches my heart, was one of the most beautiful days in my life, and I'm about to tell you why.
Na leo nimeguswa sana na kitu kimoja siwezi kuambia namna gani.
I got videos from the children, all of them, and 3 more we have now, not 25, but 28. They all were at the swimming pool today.
Na hao watoto wote kwa saa hii wakuwa nafasi ya kuogelea mzuri sana.
Jochen had thought up an idea for them to learn to swim on their summer break or on their fall break.
Wakuwa wanajifunza hata kuogelea wakati wa mapumziko.
And I saw these children courageously jumping into the water and swimming with the joy of their life.
Na niliona watoto jinsi wanafurahi, wanabuka mumai, wanaogelea mzuri sana.
I couldn't believe the miracle of the blessings of spirit through the touching of someone's heart.
Sikuelewa kabisa ilikuwa muujiza namna gani ule mtu moyo wake uliguswa.
And it gives me hope for all of the world that we let ourselves be touched and we share our resources with one another, our time, our money, our love.
Na inipatia matumaini sana kusema ni mzuri, kumbe watu wengine lazima wakuwe wanaguswa mioyoni yao ili tukue tunagawa upendo, vingi tuko navyo, pesa zetu na kila kitu kwa watu wengine.
And soon, and Harry is probably going to tell you about this on the 13th of December, that same sponsor has made it possible for us to have a big conference at a church in Kenya in Homa Bay, where all of you are invited to come.
Na kia kushangaa ni kusema tarehe 13 mwezi wa 12 huyo sponsor moja tu ameambia watu wafanye mkutano mkubwa ambao utakuwa huko Kenya, na nyinyi wote mmealikwa ili mujiunge na huo mkutano utakuwa pale.
But I'll let Harry tell you that and close us out.
Well, thanks. So every 6 months or so, I like to throw a bigger conference that shows the impact of what we're doing.
Kila mwisho wa mwaka tunajaribu kufanya mkutano mkubwa wa kuonyesha jinsi mambo tunayofanya.
And there's a huge gap between what is happening in Africa and what the rest of the world understands what is happening.
Na kunakuwa tofauti mkubwa kwa watu wa Afrika na mambo yanayopitika katika ulimwengu sehemu zingine.
You could say the rest of the world is asleep.
Unaweza zania kwamba labda sehemu zingine dunia watu wanalala au wanasinzia na usingizi.
So the reason we are throwing this idea is for 2 reasons.
Na kuna sababu mbili ambazo zinatuma mimi niko nafanya hivyo.
To share love.
Ya kwanza ni kuonyeshana upendo.
And hopefully feed 10,000 people who will not have any food at Christmas.
Na vile tunafanyaka hivi kwa ajili ya kusaidia watu wengine ambao wapataki chakula wakati wa Christmas.
In our group here, if Stuart has broken his phone, he has no communication. If somebody donates $70 US or 75, that will allow him to have communication with the world. I'm just giving that as an example of the need. You see, God says one thing to you.
Mfano tuseme kwa mfano kama Stuart ana uhusiano na watu wengine duniani atajulikana namna gani. Hiyo ni mfano tu ambao
the wise must help the unwise.
Kusema wale ambao wana akili au elimu wanapaswa kusaidia wale ambao hawana akili au elimu.
And the rich have to help the poor.
Na vile matajiri ni jambo mzuri kusaidia watu maskini.
The rich have to stop eating their own thoughts.
Watu ambao ni matajiri waache kabisa kula ile mawazo yao mabaya.
You have to care.
Napaswa kujali.
If you don't care, you are a robot.
Na kama wewe haujali watu wengine kumubaya.
And the other thing this conference is, it's showing it's dealing with 2 major aspects of what we are talking about.
Na hiyo conference itaonyesha hali mbili ambazo
The
tutazungumzia.
leaders of Denmark are not the pastors and so on. In Africa, the leaders of Africa are not the politicians. They are the pastors and bishops.
Waongozi wa huko Denmark sio mapasta. Lakini huko Afrika waongozi wengi ni mapasta, sio wapolitisi, lakini wachungaji.
They are the ones the people are listening to.
Na wanataka sana watu wakuwa na msikilizi.
And we have been extremely successful in attracting an amazing group of pastors and bishops, like Bishop Alok, which I call grandfather, in Homa Bay. And it is his church that we will bring 100 people, feed them food, thanks to Johan, and all the technical difficulties that happen.
Na kwa sababu ya hiyo tumevutia watu wengi sana kupitia wachungaji kama vile babu yake ya Martha ambao ni bishop. Tunaalika watu, anakuwa anawalika watu wengi mkanisa yao, wanakula chakula mingi, wanashiba kabisa.
And if you cannot feel that as Danish people, I understand. But the second issue, I know is deep at your root.
Na kama mwezi elewa hiyo nyinyi watu wa Denmark, lakini najua hiyo mnapaswa kuifanya.
The men suppress the women.
Huko Afrika wanaume ndio wako juu ya wanawake.
Neither Shelia nor I agree with that.
Najua Shala naye imeelewa hiyo.
The power of the women is part of the theme of what we are teaching at the Christmas fundraiser. And I know that Denmark cares about that.
Na nguvu ya wanawake wengi na gandamizwa, lakini hatupendi kuwe kama hivyo wakati wa Christmas. Na tunajua watu wa Denmark wanajua hivyo.
It is not that the men, they have been taught they are the boss.
Haiko kusema kwamba wanaume wamefundishwa ili wakuwe mabosi.
We want them to learn the Danish teaching that women are powerful and equal in all ways to what.
Tunapenda waelewe kama watu wako Denmark wana mke wako juu na wanaishi maisha sawa sawa na wanaume.
And Harry, I just want to say that in that sense, in the eyes of the three principles, we are all the same. And this is the beauty of this sharing, that we are all the same, no matter who you are, if you are rich or poor, if you're a politician, or you are just a mother of 3 children as I am, a normal teacher. We teach what we hear and what we learn and what we see, just like you have done with us today. So in the eyes of God, or three principles, or the universal power, we are all one. And this is what is beautiful.
Great. And if anybody else wants to ask a question before we say goodbye, that's okay. By the way, that was very beautiful. Thank you very much for saying that. I mean it. Very, very touching. And real, and real.
Thank you. And I think we are just about, the times. We have just 2 minutes. David and all the beautiful people there, do you have something to say just before we end? Then please do, to the Danish people.
Je, mna kitu ambao mnapenda kuuliza au kusema wakati tunataka kumaliza?
Acha tuseme kidogo sasa.
Yeah, I have something to say.
Okay, we really thank you very much for your turn up, for your time. For us in Africa, if we see white, we really be blessed, and we feel we are on the certain stage. So we really thank you for coming and giving us your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Asante.
Thank you. And just on behalf of 3PGK, I want to thank all of you. Thank you for initiating this, Harry. It has been really a pleasure. It's been really wonderful. And Shaila, thank you for sharing. And Christina, do you want to say something just before I stop the recording?
Yes, thank you so much. Asante sana.
Asante.
Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording.